Hello my people, welcome back here to another episode. My name is Davis Mwenda and this is Project Explained. As we are covering the series of the process of borehole drilling in Kenya, I had promised you to go through a borehole drilling quote. That's what we are going to do today. So guys, wherever you are, kindly please remember to always subscribe. Please don't watch before you subscribe. Let's grow together, and today I'm going to take you through borehole drilling quotation. Now this quote, this is our format in our company that we usually do it. Any other contractor has his own format, but what it entails in that quotation should be what I'm telling you. So whatever I show you, any other contractor may change. It's all a format, but the data and the details is the same. Now let's get into it. So this is a typical borehole drilling quotation, and you can see it is let me clear this so that we do it again afresh. So clear content. Now we're going to discuss about a borehole. I'm going to take you through a borehole, 200-meter borehole. Let me start with this. So like that. So this is 200 meters. Now from this quotation you're going to see there's a item, there's a description, unit, quantity, rate, and totals. Now I'm going to take you through how a typical quotation is done and what it entails. Now on item number 1, it reads mobilization of staff and machinery to site, erecting, dismantling, and demobilize upon completion. This scope basically entails mobilizing a drilling rig to your site together with its support truck that carries other drilling stuff. In this bill, any contractor should consider all the logistics of mobilizing to site, logistics of moving around, and demobilizing back. Now in this case, let's say our datum is Nairobi and you're going to drill in Machakos. So you're going to input, according to your own calculation, this should now happen to a driller. Let's say we do 30,000 on mobilization. So this is let me see, 1 1 1 1. We are going to change them when you're going to infill. It should be 24, 2 hours, 1. No, sorry. Physical, this should be 3. This is undertake discharge 24, 2 hours, 1 1 1, like that. Now mobilization we've charged 30,000, and that should be the description. Then on item number 2, there is provide for drilling additives and water for other requirements. So this is our format. Any other construction company or drilling company can have its own format of how they're going to word it, but basically this is to provide the additives that are going to be used in drilling. And mostly we usually use drilling foam, polymer, water itself. Yeah, those are the major 3 things that we usually use, and bentonite, but that is for sealing. Now depending on the formation that the driller is going to drill, you will be able to know what type of additives is going to use in the borehole. So I assume you're going to use like 25,000 for that. Then we have item number 3. This is now the actual borehole drilling. This should be from ground level to 100 meters, item number 3. Now we are drilling 8.5 inches all the way to 100 meters. Let's quote 3,000 per meter. Then ditto for item number 4 between 100 to 200. Now ditto in quantity surveying languages as above, so it should be read as drilling of borehole from 215 but now change from 100 to 200. You quote another 3000, the same 3000. Now since we are drilling a 200 meter borehole, any depth above that we will just quote it as rates only. So I'll input 3200. Now this is just in case if you drill beyond 200, we will have a rate to refer to, which will be 3200. Then item number 6, this should entail now supply and installation of 8-inch surface casing. We're at number 6, supply and install 6-inch surface casing and retrieve on completion. Now at this point, you remember in episode 2 I explained about surface casing. This is a bigger diameter casing, more than the drill depth, that's usually installed in a bowl in the first 0 to around 5 meters depending on the formation. This is to prevent caving in and in future contamination, that is if you're going to leave it. Now if we are going to install this surface casing and we are going to retrieve it upon completion, let's say we charge you 4,500. Now we go to item number 7. That is the same surface casing, but now supply and install permanent. Now this is in the scenario where we install it and we leave it for you. And why do we leave it for you? This depends on the area, how it is. If we conclude or suspect there is any form of contamination that can come into a bowl, we are going to leave it and we are going to seal it using bentonite. Now item number 7, let's now bill for surface casing that should be left on site. That is a permanent one. Let's do 6,500. But mark you, these things are rates only. These are only determined on site. You cannot know the exact meters to install surface casing until you drill and you find a firm formation. That's when now you know how many meters to install. Now we go to item number 8, supply and install 6-inch bowl seal casings class B. This is now the casings. You've drilled your bowl up to 200 meters. Now this is the casings to install, and we have coded for plain casings class B, that is 4 millimeters. So how do you know when it's being quoted? How do you know you need how many? You usually have a formula that usually use, and this is around 30% of the drill depth should cover slotted casings, but it is not cast in stone. This should be determined on site. Remember in episode 2 we discussed about logging. Now in the design of casings, when they're installing on site, the driller is able to tell where to install the slotted casings depending on where he strike the aquifers. So this may be more or less, but for quotation purposes, let's work with around 30%. 30% of 200 should be around 60 meters. So this is, and sorry, let me go back here. I was supposed to put 100, then here I'm supposed to do 60. This is on the slotted 60 meters. Now the balance is 140, so 200 minus 60 is 140. That should cover for the plain casings, 140. Let me put a rate for plain casing. In Kenya right now, you may charge that or less. I'm not sure how much anyone wants to charge, but that should be. Then let's do 2600 for slotted ones. Then gravel pack. Now on gravel pack, remember I told you gravel pack is inserted in between the drill diameter and the difference between the drill diameter and the casing. There is an annular space that usually left there. Let me show you on a diagram here. You see this is a pictorial view of our bowl. You see this part, this one, this difference here. This is where you install gravel, both sides, this side and this side. Now let's go on. So we usually have a formula for calculating, and on this 200 should cover around 7 tons. Sorry, I'm putting the wrong place on the quantities. 7 tons, and the rate for it, maybe I could 7,500 or 7,000. This is Machakos. This is where you get it. to 7,000. There'll be no much cost in distance. Now let's go to physical chemical development of the borehole. This is flushing. We discussed this in episode 2. This is where we flush the borehole through using a compressor, where here compressed air is jetted inside the borehole, and there's air lifted to clean all the bowl all through. Now we have assumed we could do for 3 hours. Let's do a rate. This is running a compressor for 3 hours, 15,000. Then there's undertake constant discharge to test to determine bowl parameters. This is what is called test pumping for 24 hours. We discuss also about it, but let's do 3250 per hour, set you back to 75,800. Then we have undertake water level observation and record recovery. We also discussed about this. This is where now, after finishing test pumping, you now track back your how the water is recharging in your borehole. Let's say we do it, let's say this borehole has good recharge. Let's do for maybe 2 hours at a rate of 500. Then we go now to physical and chemical analysis of water. Remember, after test pumping here, we collected a water sample, should be taken to the lab. So this water sample will be tested physical and chemical. Let's do 10,000. Then there's a sanitary seal. This is where now you do a slab or grouting. Let's do 10,000. So anybody who has watched episode 2 is understanding what I mean, because I really explained everything how it's done. Now logging. Remember I showed you a sample box. That logging, that's an exercise. It's charged together with let me read it for you how you frame it. Logging of samples at 2-meter intervals and preparation of bowl compression record to WRA standards. This is now preparing the BCR, the bowl compression record, and we submit it to the Ministry of Water and a copy to WRA. Now this, the actual preparation and the logistics, let's do 4,000 for that. And there you have your borehole at 1.3344. That is typically now a 200-meter borehole. And these are not exact rates. We're just doing so that I explain to you how they are quoted. Now let's see if we have left anything. 7 tons, 15, everything. Now let's see what is the rate per meter of this borehole, just to check. This divided by 200, around 67. Okay. Now you see there is also an aspect of VAT, so you add VAT, and this should be now the total plus VAT. This is the total plus VAT. Now how do we, now at this point now you've seen how to interpret and how to read and understand a borehole drilling quotation. And I remind you again, this format is from our company, but every other driller, even if this is not the format, these are the items that he or she will build. Now you've drilled, now you've gotten the quotation, you have got drilling. Now let's say this borehole you was quoted for 200, but at 150 you got enough water, because maybe your geologist had given a minimum of 120 to 200 maximum, and at 150 you have water. Now what do you do? Now we prepare for you something called a final wax measurement. So we come here, we introduce another row to prepare your final wax measurement schedule. Sorry, do like that. Then come here like this, we merge that. So this is the measurement schedule for 150 meters. So let's say we are doing it has been done 150 meters. Now this is what you do at this point. Let's copy the quantities here, totals there, paste, add a little bit there. Then this should be QTY, that is quantity. Let's add in bold and caps QTY. Okay, Now let me input the formulas for this one. So we'll use the same rates. You see, I'm going to use the same rates. So I'm going to get this rate multiplied by the new quantity for 150 meters. And I'm going to pull it to apply to all. Then I'm going to format cells. Going to do it like that. Numbers, go to decimals like that. And I'm also going back here, put it in the middle. Then let's remove these zeros that are not supposed to be there. That one, that one, that one. Okay, let's pull now the totals. So pull the total there, go to home, there, our total. So we have the total. Let's input the formula for VAT times 16%. And we have it, then we add both that and that. Now we have our quotation. Now let's do now the final measurements. Now final measurements will be this. Let me put it in another color so that you can see the difference. Let's do yellow. Yellow is much visible. Now on mobilization, these will not change. You're going to build for 1. Then on additives, they're not also going to change, so you build the same. Then on drilling, we will build the first phase of 100 meters, we'll build the 100. Then the second one, because we have now drilled to 150, we build 50. Now item number 5 of 200 to 400, we're not going to build anything because we have not gotten there. Now item number 6, this is a surface casing. Let's say we installed a permanent surface casing that is left on site. Let's do like 3 meters. You're going to build it like that. Then you go now to supply of casing. This is 150 meters. For 150 meters, let's assume we did 102 for planes and 48 for the slotted. Okay, then you go to supply of gravel. Let's say we did 5 tons. Then on the physical and chemical, let's say they developed for 2 hours, the actual that is recorded in the driller's logbook. Then you go to test pumping, it was done for 24 hours. Then recovery, let's say 3 hours, maybe it took longer. Then on the physical chemical analysis, that will not change, the same lab. Then on the seal, it will not change, build the same. Then on the logging and the BCR is the same. Now we are at 1. We are at 1,062,000. You see now, for 200 meter bore that you are given a quotation, you are to pay 1.5 inclusive of VAT. Right now you drilled a bore of 150 meters. Now it is cheaper, it is 1.2. And all these quantities that I've put in the final works measurement schedule, the ones that in the yellow, these quantities are the actual ones that were used on site and should be recorded in the driller's book. And your supervisor also has to have his own records so that you get value of your money and you get billed for what exactly has been done. Now at this point, now you have your final works measurement, and this is now what you pay. If you had paid a deposit of a certain amount, now you'll minus it with the new or the final works measurement schedule amount, and that's what you pay. And that's about it. That's how you interpret, and now that's how you read and understand a bore drilling quotation. And this is a disclaimer, this is our own format. Other drillers have their own formats, but it is good to get an itemized BOQ because you get the chance to build on the final works measurements relying on the rates that you are given at the initial stage of quotation. You still enjoy the same rates, so only the quantity that changes and you're good to go. And you can see, I think only 3 aspects have changed: drilling depth, casing meters, and the gravel pack in terms of tonnage. The rest remain constant. Okay, that's about it, and thanks for watching. I welcome for questions and comments. Let's engage ourselves. Let's learn. You can also tell me what else do you want me to do. What other video do you want me to do it for you, so that you can get to understand more about bowl drilling. So at this point, I say thank you. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe. This is a new channel. We have 2 videos. Now this is the 3rd video in our channel. And we also have a short. Kindly go there, support, watch. That's the only thing actually you can help right now, is watch, and then subscribe, so that you can get to that point where you can get monetized. Thank you again, and bye.